Welcome back to the Norfolk Currents podcast. I'm Erin Lindstrom, and I'm so excited to be here at Colley Executive Offices. Mike, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you so much for being here and for this opportunity. So excited to be able to talk with you guys. And I also just want to say, from the start, everything that you guys do is so amazing. I mean, I've been living here my whole life, and I've seen many publications come and go. And Norfolk Currents, you guys are doing such a great job. And I know that your team, I've seen well-funded teams 5 times the size of you guys not do 10% of the job that you guys consistently do, showcasing all of the great things that this area has to offer. Really see the good work, love, and have so much appreciation for everything that you guys do for this area.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And I think it really says something just about the local creators that are here and who have been willing to work with us and collaborate. It's such a cool place to be.
I agree.
So to start us off, could you tell us a little bit, who are you? How'd you get here? I know this is a family business. If you could share a little bit of the backstory, that would be awesome.
Thank you. My name is Mahgerefteh. My dad came to this country 38 years ago with my mom. He came from Iran, and my mom's Israeli. And he opened up a used car dealership in Portsmouth, Virginia. And after he's doing that, he's deciding to invest in real estate, and then he's leaving the car dealership business and going into real estate. And so one of the things was that he wishes that when he was starting his business that people would give him the tools that he needed, but he had to learn everything himself. And so that's why we decided to start this concept, Colley Executive Offices, to give people the tools that they need to run their business so that they can focus on what's important, which is growing their business. And so when I'm getting out of college, I started a psychedelic rock band called Galaxy Dynamite, where we toured and played more than 500 shows. And each of those performance engagements, I'm the one that's booking, negotiating, managing, and executing all of those tours. And so I had an opportunity to speak with an amazing person, Lindsay Bilasali, over at Harvey Lindsay Commercial Real Estate. And so, and this is something I think is true to this day, is that, in my opinion, putting together a concert tour uses the exact same skill set as putting together a commercial real estate deal. And so Harvey Lindsay Commercial Real Estate gave me the opportunity to get my license and to work with them, and they mentored me, throughout this business. And I decided that the best thing to do is to work for my family. And so when my dad decided to start this business, I'm working with him to do this business with him. And so then I'm opening up my own commercial real estate company, Prestige Realty Group, and I'm so excited to be getting my broker's license about a month and a half ago, which is pretty much the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life.
Yeah, congratulations.
So,
That's
thank you.
huge.
Yeah, it was really hard. And, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears over, a 3 or 4 year period getting that license. And so, now that's where I am here today.
Wow. That's a fun story.
Thank you.
So tell us, for those who might be listening, tell us about what is Colley Executive Offices.
Thank you. Colley Executive Offices is executive office suite facility. So essentially what we have is private, all-inclusive offices that people can rent so that they can focus on what's important, which is growing their business. It's a building that has individual offices, and each office I'm leasing to different businesses. And each office comes all-inclusive. So we have 24-hour security, 24-hour access, free on-site ground-level parking, and then also each office comes with a variety of amenities like a furniture package to help their moving cost. They get a 7-digit number that goes directly to their suite through a handset that we provide. They also get wired internet and a street address mailbox, which could fulfill their license obligations. And so the idea is that we provide you with all of the amenities with one low price, and so you can do what you do best and focus on what's important, which is growing your business.
Wow. Can you tell us some of the different types of businesses that are here?
I got everything you can think of. I have international companies, I have satellite offices here, and I have mom and pop, and everything in between. Therapists love us, attorneys, home health care, government workers, and agencies and things like that. So it's really everything that you can think of, but we generally try and have, office-based type of, environment here.
Yeah. For local people who are maybe working from home right now, are there some signs of an office would actually be helpful? Like, how do you know when the time is to actually move into a space?
Sure. So when coronavirus happened, I expected like things to just straight up tank, right? But for every person that couldn't work in the office, there was another person that couldn't work at home. When I'm at home, my band used to practice at my house, right? And even something like a band, which is, at that time, buddies getting together and having a good time together. We would try and practice, and there would be like, the TV, and I got to do the dishes, and, I got to take my dog out, and it's just all these distractions. And so the idea here, like what we do is like 80% mental, right? And so when you come into Colley Executive Offices, the idea is that you just put your blinders on and you focus on what's important, which is growing your business. And I think that when it gets to the point when you're working at home that you can't focus on what's important, that's when you need to pivot and decide what's the best thing for your business. Also, you want to look gorgeous, because looking good is like half of the battle. And so when you're meeting with people at places like your garage or at a library or in a coffee shop, it's not as beautiful as when you're coming into gorgeous facility and meeting with them in a conference room and putting a presentation on the TV and looking great. And so I think that it's about appearance too. You want to look good, so then you can use that as leverage to negotiate more in your favor.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's something about having a boardroom, right, and a table that like
Precisely.
you can't quite make that. Although I do try to make it happen at my dining room table, but I think there's definitely something to be said for having a space that you can come into and have the different vibe of like business.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about, like I said, mental, the feeling, how people feel when they come see you, how you feel when they're coming to see you. It's like the whole thing all put together. And so that's why essentially what we do is provide clean, beautiful work environments so that you can just focus on what's important and you're not thinking about all the other things.
Got it. So you mentioned, so we have a family business here, and it sounds like you have a family like of entrepreneurs and artists, right? Like from what I've gathered talking to you. And you're very passionate, like when you speak about like coming in and focusing on your business so you can grow it. Can you just say more about like why that's important, and like that feels like a very like deliberate choice to help people grow their businesses?
So the thing is that, every single time you're looking for an office space is confusing and expensive and disruptive to your workflow. And a lot of people would find that they'd move somewhere and they're happy, and then they're working hard, and when they're going to grow the business, the facility can't accommodate them. So they have to go and, talk to a bunch of other places and, go through that whole process. And so one thing that we love doing is we love when our tenants move during the lease time. So if you start, you come here, it's a new business, you want to start in a smaller office and see how things are going, and you give me, because of an incentive that I give you, a 12-month lease, and then maybe 3 to 4 months into that 12-month lease, you're making a lot of money, you want to hire someone, and so what we love doing is not only do we love when people move during the lease time so they can move into a bigger office, but every office in this entire building is designed to be expanded, and so you can push through the wall. And so let me give you an example. I had a gentleman come and start with one office. He's a therapist, and in 1 year he's moving into 8 offices.
Wow.
And so what we did was we moved him into a whole nother building and then connected that building to our Colley location. And so he has an entire building, and he's still operating also some offices in our Colley location. And that's happening in 1 year. And so that's honestly one of my favorite things about it, is that when I know I'm doing my job right, then I see other people are being successful and growing, because that's the only way that I succeed, right? And so, it's making me the happiest person, because I'm raised here. I'm really, really invested in local business, and I feel like I'm in like the front lines of local business here.
Truly.
Right? And so I love when I see people grow, because that means that, essentially someone can feed their family because of a decision that I help facilitate. And so that's one thing why I love commercial real estate too, because, if I work hard and I negotiate a lease for a big warehouse, that's like 20 employees right there that they're able to make money and feed their family and, contribute to the local economy. And so I love, being right there and seeing that process happen in real time.
Yeah, it sounds like there's impact both like commercially, right, when we're talking on the business side, but then also for families and creating jobs and
yeah, exactly, and it's great. Like when someone comes and they're like, "Hey, I need a new key fob into the building because I hired someone else." It's making me the happiest person ever, because I'm like, great, because that won't happen unless you're killing it,
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see. I want to see people come in and grow and do their thing so that, they can hopefully grow out of it and then move into their own space, which is, the goal.
Yeah, I love that. So you said that you just got your commercial real estate license.
My broker's
Broker
license. Yes, ma'am.
sorry. Even more impressive.
Yeah,
And so-
it's different,
It- it
because
is,
getting
yes.
the real estate license is one thing, but the broker is like a notoriously difficult test to
Yes,
do because
listen.
they try and artificially keep the amount of real estate brokers down because, they want a lot of big real estate companies and not like many, many small ones. And so that test is very, very hard to do. And so, but yes, and so the idea is that when someone comes in here and they're growing their business and they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 offices, and when they're ready to take on a whole floor, then I know they're a good tenant that has reputable credit. And so then I can represent them to find them that space and do a good job making sure that they get the best deal that they can because, part of my job is negotiating different terms that they may not know about and
Right.
finding different corners to make them more valuable and make the deal happen. And so it's my greatest pleasure to do that for someone that I see in real time growing their business.
Yeah, that is such a cool setup. And I'm flashing to Selling Sunset and thinking of what the Norfolk version of that would be just in the real estate world.
Right.
But obviously there's lots of like relations there. And I'm just thinking, so with the family kind of side of the business, like what is it like to work with family?
It's hard. And it's great at the same time, because when you're working with your family, it's there's no politeness, right? Is real all the time. Have you ever had someone that when you have a problem with them, you can go two ways about it? You're like, I'm going to be nice, polite. Hey, can we have a conversation? Well, maybe there are some things that you're doing that, there could be, but it's not like that in my family.
Right,
we be real with each other and, we expect the best out of each other. And, but the thing is, working with my family, I wouldn't want it any other way. And I think that it's made me a better person, a better human, a better businessman because there's nobody that I look up to more in every facet of my life than my dad. And being able to learn from him every single day and try and do everything I can to be half the man that he is something that I think is making me be better at this business. And so it's great. I like working with my family. And then also we have employees that I look at as part of my family too, because, we want to make sure, that people feel comfortable here. And that's also with the people that are working here. We want everyone to make everyone feel comfortable, secure, and easy and, want things to move in a good way. And so to answer your question, it's really, really hard, honestly, but I love it so much. And it's something I'm so proud of.
Yeah, that is so cool. And I so appreciate like your enthusiasm, which seems so real. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Sometimes people have to like, all right, I'm going to put on my game face. No, this is like in your bones.
I'm in love with what I do here. And like I was just telling you before this
Yeah.
podcast, I'm a musician and I never thought I would find something that I love as much as creating music than I do with negotiating commercial real estate. It's something that I'm truly passionate about.
That is so cool.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit looking forward into 2024? Like, what do you see what's next on the docket? Like, is there a vision for like growth, expansion?
Sure. So the thing is that we're so picky on the buildings that we buy to do this concept. We have other office buildings that we do, but it's not the same as this concept. And so really, I think the best thing going forward is just to keep doing what we do best, which is to put good businesses next to good businesses and make sure that we foster, an environment that people can work hard and grow. And so, maybe we'll have another building somewhere, but, we like what we're doing here. And so we honestly are just going to keep sticking to what we're doing. So, it's like that.
Yeah, love that.
Thank you.
For people who are listening and like your energy, want to support local business and maybe aren't someone who's ready to, move in, they don't have a business. How can we support the business if it's not through like being a resident? What can we do to make sure that
Sure.
Colley Executive Offices is like here to stay long term?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that I have a lot of experience working with local businesses and that, I used to throw big music festivals in the area and those local businesses, did such a good job of helping to support me through being sponsors and stuff like that. Also, I have a lot of experience doing commercial real estate. It is my business to know local businesses. So I would say the best answer to that question is that we have a partnership program. And so essentially what I say is that if you offer my tenants any incentive of your choice, then I will advertise you to more than 150 small businesses in this area through my tenants. And so, when that means that when you're a tenant here, it's like anything you think of. You get discounts from different restaurants, different gyms, anything you think of. Like if you want to have pest control come to your house, someone to do your taxes, someone to build a fence for you. And so through that way, I think that I'm working hard to give my tenants different incentives for businesses, so they can save money more than just being here.
Yeah.
And then also I'm helping other businesses to advertise them to local businesses that come and to work and eat, sleep in Norfolk every day.
I love that.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want our listeners to know about?
That I fully understand and appreciate this area, and I want to do every single thing I can to do my part to make this area great. And so I hope that we can all work together so that we can not only support each other, but also most importantly, support ourselves and make sure that we all do what's best for ourselves and each other to make Norfolk a better place. Because the thing is with Norfolk is that it's such a unique market in that we have a lot of money here, but a lot of that money is coming from transient people. And so that means that the community is getting smaller and smaller, because what happens is people grow up here, they go to school here, and then they leave and they go to Richmond, they go to Raleigh, whatever, right? And so most of the money that's coming is from transient military people that they're here for 4 years, and they don't care, they don't have the time to care about the locals, right? Because if I was from Wyoming and I'm stationed in Norfolk for 4 years, I'm going to come in, I'm going to spend my money, I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to get out. And so what that means is that the local area is, more than ever needs to stick together and support ourselves, because when they're leaving, they're not being replenished by people that are here for the long term. And so that's why I think it's so important that people recognize that that's the dynamic in this area, and do more to understand how important it is to truly support local. Like it's different. Like in Richmond, you have people that come in for college and then they'll stay. They'll get a job and they will stay, and they will go see that local band. They will go support that local movie being screened at the local theater. But a lot of people that they're coming here and they're spending all that money, they don't have the time to do that. And so it's great that we're propped up, because that's why we're such a great, prosperous city, because of all that money coming in here. But then unfortunately, there's a lot of brain drain of people growing up here and then leaving. And so I think it's our collective responsibility to recognize that reality and to work hard to make sure that not only do we keep people here, but to offer an incentive for people to come here and be emotionally invested in our lovely area.
Yeah, I hear that. Relationship building, and
it's important.
Yeah,
absolutely. And like I said, I'm born and raised here. I was just telling you, my fiance, her family business is here, and my business is here. I'm never going to leave here ever. And so I play the long game. Like with everything I do in my life, I don't do it one step at a time. I do 5 to 10 years in the future. And so, that's something I think is a mentality that everyone else should have too, so we can make sure that 10 years in the future, Norfolk is still the amazing, local, lovely, charming place that it is right now.
Amazing. Wow. Well said. Thank you so much, Michael, for your time and for sharing with us, and for really creating locally in the area and helping others grow their businesses as well.
Thank you so much for your time and attention. It's been so lovely having this conversation with you.
That's a wrap.